Okay, my name is Jake Hildebrandt, and I just want to take a moment to welcome you to Murray State. I made this quick video just to help you get started at Murray State to register for classes and show you a couple things you need to do in MyGate. Generally, I write things down in emails to help new students, especially online students, out with this process, and it can be a little confusing. So I just want to show you a couple things that you need to know. You need to start with this address. So write this down. You need to go to mygate.murraystate.edu. If you need to pause and follow along with me, you can. So that should take you to this screen here. Okay. Now this is going to ask you to log in. And so what you want to do is your username is your email that you received from Murray State without the @murraystate.edu. Generally, I've got a pretty rare last name, so I don't have numbers after mine. But if your last name is Smith, for instance, a lot of times you might have B Smith 007, something like that. That's what you would enter in here. So you would enter your first initial, last name, and then the numbers following that, and then your password that you created at the very beginning. And so once you do that, just simply log into MyGate. There are generally three places that you're going to go to, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But MyGate is where all your financial aid records, where you register for classes, and your emergency contacts and things like that are. So you can use MyGate. You'll be using it quite a bit. Here's the first thing you need to do when you log into MyGate. You need to go to and create this two-factor authentication. This is a little aggravating. Generally, what this means is it's going to take your cell phone whenever you log in. You can stay logged in for 30 days at a time, but this is just a security issue. So even though it's a little aggravating, it's something that Murray State decided to do about a year ago. And again, what I do is I have it push a notification through my cell phone, and I just accept that, and it lets me log in. So when that screen comes up, I can't really show you that right now because I'm actually logged in, but when that screen does come up, there's a little box at the bottom when it wants you to send a push notification that says keep me logged into this computer for 30 days. Be sure and click that. Okay. That's the first thing you need to do. The next thing you need to do is go down here and consolidate your credentials. What this means is you see below this MyGate, Canvas, Network Wireless, Library Resources, and Racer Mail. You would generally have to set up a different password for each one of those. If you go to consolidate passwords, it allows you to set up one password for every one of those. And whenever it comes time to change your password, it'll change them for all those automatically. So this is very helpful. A lot of universities don't do this. I won't mention names, but the university I got my graduate degree from did not do this, and keeping up with all the different passwords was a hassle. So this is very handy. Be sure and do that. One thing to remember is you can actually use the same password that you just logged into MyGate with and consolidate that for all these things. Now, where we want to go next is we want to come over here, and I have a few more tabs because I am a faculty member, but you want to select academics. That's where we're going to register for classes at. And so whenever you select academics, you're going to scroll down here to the right, and underneath registration tools, we're going to there's two things here that you need to look at. Now, sometimes I give you when you email me, if you're at a distance, I'll suggest classes that you need to take and give you the CRN numbers. We'll look at that in a minute. But in the future, generally what you need to do is you need to have a schedule of what you think you want to take before you contact your advisor. And again, I might be your advisor, I might not be, but this is something that as a college student generally is a requirement. And so you would do that here. And so this shows the course fees and then the classes that you can take. So if you select this, it opens a new tab, and you just select the semester that you want classes and then scroll through here and select the classes that you want. Okay. Again, this is only for viewing. And so that's the only purpose for that is so you can look up classes and figure out a schedule that you want to take. All right, if you want to register for those classes, you go to add or drop individual classes here. And when we select this, now I just went through this before, you will have a screen that pops up where you have to enter all your emergency contacts. You have to verify everything. Be sure that you select all the verification boxes. And then also it'll ask you about military experience and different things like that. If you want to pause this video while you go through this verification screen, it generally takes 2 or 3 times to get through everything. Just going to warn you, okay? But once you get through that, you'll get to this page here. So if you want to pause and go through this validation and then start it back, that'd be great. Okay, so here is the first thing we want to do is select the term where you want your classes. Okay, so we're going to select fall just for an example here and hit submit. Now this next screen that pops up, and I accidentally registered for 2 classes when I was making this video before, so that's why they are still here. If you have, this shows me my current schedule. And so this is when I register for classes. It shows you the maximum, how many hours you have. If you go through here, you can actually drop your courses here as well, okay? Hopefully you won't have to do that. But again, I went through this process making another video and it accidentally registered me for this. I was trying to show what it would look like if you try to register for a class and it didn't let you, give you an error message. But anyway, there's 2 things we need to keep in mind whenever we are registering for classes. The first thing is these tables here. This is to enter in the CRN number, course registration number. I'll show you that in a minute, but I might have given you an email that has a list of classes. On the left, it'll have a number. Actually, you can look up here and see this. So see the CRN number here for EGD 404? If I gave you, like, if I told you to take EGD 404 in an email, you can actually just manually enter in that CRN number there, okay? If you have a class that's closed, like a closed section, maybe the class is filled up and your advisor or the teacher allowed you to get into the class even though it's closed, you will have to manually enter in that CRN number here, okay? And so if you don't have that, what you can do is go into class search, find the closed class, copy the CRN, and come back here and manually enter that in, all right? Okay, if you're just normally registering for classes, you can also go to class search here. And so let's just search out a class and show you. Let's search out an electromechanical class. I'm teaching PLCs next semester, programmable logical controllers. So I find the class that I want, and then I go here. Now there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. I have 2 sections. Okay, this section here is for a student who's going to be taking that as an independent study. This is my traditional class. Okay, so there's the CRN numbers that we have. There's the classes, the sections, the hours, 4 hours, the name of the class. Now you notice my in-person class here meets Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 to 10:10. Okay, if you're online, you don't have to worry about this because you're going to be taking online classes and they'll always show TBA here. Okay, to be announced, which basically means there's not a schedule. Over here, you can see that how many is actually in the class is the capacity and how many is remaining. Okay, and so if I have 10 people in this class, this section will close. That doesn't mean you can't get into the class, but you have to contact the instructor and ask for permission. And then this tells you the dates that the class is open through. So this is open through 08 through 12/11. Okay, and then the location. Again, if it's online, it'll say TBA here. It will not have a location. And so if I wanted to register for this class, I would select this and come down here and hit register. I am not going to do that because I actually have an undergrad in electromechanical engineering technology and I probably meet the prereqs. So that's how I got those other 2 classes, by making a video like this. All right, so you just hit register. Once you're registered, if it allows you to go through, it'll show up. Let's see, it'll show up back here in this screen like this. Okay, so it'll show up in your schedule, and that means that you're registered. If you get something down here that says error, be sure and write down what it says. Okay, you can even do a screenshot and send that to your advisor because there is something with the prereqs that's keeping you out of that class, and you need to let your advisor know. All right, so that's how we register for classes. Now there are a couple other websites that we need to talk about. So obviously one of the websites where all your online classes are going to be held is called Canvas. Okay, and so this is a picture of Canvas. And so whenever you go to Canvas, you'll have a dashboard and it'll look something like this. All right, and so this is the classes. Again, I've got a bunch because I'm a teacher, but this is what your classes look like. And whenever you click into one of these classes, let me do this one for example. Well, this is a summer class, so it's not set up yet. Let me do one that's set up. When you click into one of these classes here, it'll take you to your whatever page the instructor has set up. And let me just go through here and show you the student view. And as a student, this is what it would look like for you, okay? And so the way that I have this class set up is all the coursework is under modules. And you'll have module 1, and then you'll have all these things that you'll need to go through. Be sure and follow the directions. So it says watch this first, and so you go through this, and I've got a little video and welcome you to the class. And then these are lectures, the syllabus, some videos, and then you go to your assignments here. And so I want you to answer certain questions in this. And whenever you submit an assignment, it wants you to browse your computer. And so you actually answer the question, save it to, you can either use Microsoft Word or Google. At Murray State, all of our email goes through Google. And so it gives you access. You can log into Google and use Google Docs if you want to with that and save it as a docx file and upload it that way. So it gives you some options there. You can either even choose going from your Google Drive file if you want to do that. All right, so that is Canvas. The best way to go through this is if you type in murraystate.instructure.com, or what I always do, this is a little secret for me if I get this right, you can also go to murraystate.edu's webpage and select Canvas that way. I usually just Google. I'll type in Murray and then Canvas. And generally it's the first thing that pops up is that. So if you just type Murray Canvas, this will pop up. Now, if you consolidate your password, this is the exact same username and password that you're going to use that you logged into MyGate with. Okay, and I just changed my password, so I have to update that. Anyway, the other thing is your emails. All right, so if you go to Gmail, it's probably going to try to log me in automatically here. Yeah, it will. But if you go to Gmail and log in with your Murray State account, and that's not even my Murray State account, so there's my Murray State account, it'll log you into Gmail and you can answer all your emails. Again, you use the same username and password that you did for MyGate. Okay, so I hope this video helps you out. Again, I know this is kind of a lot of information. You'll get used to all this. So the 3 websites that you're going to use, just a little follow-up, is MyGate, which is where how you register for classes. It's where all your financial aid, everything else is done through here. You're going to use Canvas, which is where all your online classes are, and then you use Gmail, which is where your email is set up through Murray State. So be sure and let me make a suggestion for you. You will get quite a bit of emails from Murray State with different things about students, but add that to your phone. Because professors, a lot of times, especially if you're an online student, will communicate with you through email, and so you need to be sure and add that to your phone. So that way, every time that you can just download the Gmail account or use your mail app or whatever, but I would highly suggest using that. All right, so if you have any questions, I hope this helped solve those. If not, you might want to talk to your advisor, and good luck, and again, welcome to Murray State.